It's 10 o'clock in the US Eastern. Welcome to everybody that is here. I have to apologize for my setup. The screen might be too big for you guys. I have a lot of things in the background, and that's why you see this effect. This was supposed to be some sort of a screen to actually see what only one window or two, but for some reason I have not been able to make this thing work with one window. I tried Firefox, I tried Brave, I tried other browsers. It just doesn't post properly. So unfortunately, that's what I have to do, and there is some flicker on the screen, and I don't know why that thing goes in. So you guys are gonna have to look at a lot of the things that I have on the screen here. Okay, so I don't have any slides. I overslept a little bit, so I didn't make any slides, but nonetheless, I'd like to welcome everybody. It is a little bit of a rainy, cold day here in the US. I hope you guys are staying warm. And let's get a coding. We're gonna release 4.1 today. So a welcome, a warm. The volume is a bit low. Okay. All right. Hold on. Where is the OBS? Let's put that. I got it to max. So let's see if I move it here, and if I do something here. Is input, I guess. Oh, input is max. Here. Maybe like this. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this better for you guys? Yes? No? I know that there is a delay between what I'm saying and what YouTube produces, so it's okay now. Alright, excellent. Okay, so welcome to everybody that is here. I would like to thank everybody for taking a little bit of their time to be with us while we do this release. We have a few updates. This is going to be kind of like an ongoing discussion as we go along. Feel free to post any questions that you might have in the YouTube chat, and I'll try and answer them as much as I can. So today we're going to be releasing 4.1, Phalcon 4.1. This is going to be if not the last, one of the last versions that we release Phalcon as an extension. The next big release, version 5, if you guys missed it, will be a full PHP based release for the framework. So what we do is we have a little document here. We have a deployment checklist in order to do what we need to do. And let me just pull this here so that I have it, and then let me shrink Telegram a little bit. So gives me more space here. Alright, so off we go. This is Canadian Phalcon. This is not the one that I want. This is the one that I want. We're gonna talk about version 5 as well. There's gonna be plenty of time to talk because we're gonna be waiting for the builds to be completed before we do anything else. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna follow the document that we have on the left side. And again, I apologize if the screen is too big or it's too stretched. I have not been able to make Xcomposite work the way it should, so I can share only one window. Actually, I might be able to share just the code. PHP Storm seems to be okay with this. If I do code, which window is this? Hey, you can see me. Hi. This one is Cardo. Hold on a sec. Let me just change this window. Actually, you know what? It's okay. Close this window and then go here. Make this a little bit bigger. And then open Phalcon in here. Actually, let's go and open it straight up from here. Phalcon. And of course, I don't have it there. Alright. Let's clone Phalcon and then let's open it. And we clone Phalcon from Phalcon, not my fork. This window. Alright, so this is our repository. Let's go open the terminal here. And PHP Storm just blew up. Excellent. Okay, which window is this? This is the Phalcon one. Alright, new. Let's open. I want this. Create. This window. This time I'm gonna wait a little bit until it starts indexing on its own. Alright, so indexing is done. Let's open this. Let's close this. Okay, so we're here on master. We need to git 0. Right. So we need to be on the 4.1 branch. Excellent. Okay, so first of all, we need to open the version. Make sure that we're at 4.1. Alright, so 4.1 and 4 is stable. So 4.1.0. Then we need config.json to reflect the new version. Yes. Then we need appver. Yes. These ones, we're not going to change any of these. Thank you, William. I don't think I need to change anything here. Let's go up there, and just to make sure everything okay with the stream. Let's keep that. I'm just reading the side document checklist that we have, guys, just in case you're wondering what am I doing. I'm not talking to myself. Alright, so we need to do the changelog. So the changelog has this. Actually, I was wondering, should we do the same changelog or not? You know what, I'm just gonna do one version here, one more. And I think we brought this in resources, right? Yes, we did. Alright, so let's take version 4 from here and copy it to version... Actually, you know what? Leave this here. Take this, drop it in there. Alright. And then take 4.1, copy everything, paste everything, and now 4.1. Alright, let's see. This is kind of like a visual look, just to make sure that everything is fine. And also, one of the things that we have to do is update the date, which will be here. So it's 10/31. And guys, apologies for messing up the date. I know in some social media that I could not correct it. It said October 21st instead of the October 31st. So yay. Alright, so we did that, and then we need the package XML, I think, by updating the release date, replace release notes with current release notes. Okay, so let's get these release notes here, and now the package. So this one is gonna change to 30/31. This one will change to 01. This one will change to 01. And I need to remove some of this. Paste the rest. Okay. So we had this. There we go. Okay, so that one is perfect. Now, go to the project root and run Zephyr generate. Always use a stable Zephyr, not the development version. Alright, so this is gonna be interesting here. My friend Balas told me something. Yes, it's not 30, it's 10/31. Yeah, it definitely not. We don't have a 30th month. So 1031 here, one there, 1031 there. Okay. Now here's the best part. I need to generate the code. And since I've just done this, I don't have an environment ready for it. So we might have to wait just a little bit. Where did I have all these things here? Let's put the box file here. And then just name it box file. Alright, let's run it. Hello Oleg, welcome. So what we're doing here is something that I should have done before, but sorry guys, I overslept and I woke up on some like 9:30 and I was rushing downstairs to get everything done. So the idea is that I should have the environment that I built Phalcon with ready, and at least for me, when I'm building anything with Phalcon, is I have a different environment for everything, because I use my computer for work as well, and we have a different version of Phalcon working there, so I cannot have the extension loaded on my primary machine, and as such I have to have different environments, and that's why I'm using mostly Nanobox for this. So I should have had this Nanobox instance ready for everybody, but I didn't. I apologize. And the reason we need to have this is because we need to build the extension using Zephyr. So once we do that, then the ext folder will be updated, and once the ext folder is updated, then we can actually publish this extension further up into the stream of things to be updated. And I apologize, I have a little bit of blocked nose again, so in case you guys don't know, this process will take over an hour. Usually releases take around 3 hours to be completed, and you know, it's just a waiting game. You just wait for all the stuff to be built. Hey, hello Sakura, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. So this one should be getting here soon. Come on, configuring services. I think that was the last of the services, wasn't it? The Mongo. There's a Redis one, or it's done the Redis one. If it's done this one. Oh yeah, okay. All right. Alright, so we got Zephyr over there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the new version. So we're gonna rebuild the code. So all we need to do is put Zephyr generate. So once this completes, we have the code ready. So let me open up a new terminal and you will see what I mean. If I do the git status, you're gonna see that I have a lot of files that have changed in the ext folder, and this is pretty much the new version. So okay. So now all I have to do is go back here. What else do I have here? Alright, so we have the change logs. Let me just add those two. Okay. So let me go back here into my environment, and what I need to do is I need to go to the build folder, and I need to run the gen build file just to make sure we're at 7.3. So now that I'm gonna run the gen build file, it generated some optimized files. So if I go outside the environment again, and I'm using it outside the environment, outside and inside the nanobox, because I just want to make sure that I can see all the changes, and also from inside the nanobox environment I don't have all my git tools, so it's a little bit more convenient for me. So you see here all these files have been generated, and these are the optimized files in order to make the extension much smaller. What we have to do is add those in. Okay, alright, so we've done that. Correct the changelog, we've done that. Check the changelog for errors, extra space, incorrect URLs. Right, might as well do that now. Just a quick check. And if I go here, oops, where is it? Self-trap. Guys, if you see something, just say. So Sakura, what are the new features? So okay, we added the JSON Web Tokens, the JWT. This is under security. It allows you to create and validate JSON Web Tokens. We've added under HTML the namespace, a helper, also namespace, which has a ton of HTML creating little classes, and they all come with their factory, so that you can create components. This is replacing slowly, of course, the tag component. So instead of having that static class craziness with the tag component, you can actually instantiate any of these little small classes and create your own components. And the idea was that any of these little classes, with the help of the factory, could be used in the forms to create new elements and so on and so forth. So that one will be a little bit later for version 5. We also have a couple of changes, as you can see on screen, with the request to offer the base language for EN or EN-US, whatever. For Vault, we have HTTP2 preload headers that we can offer. We created the blacklist and whitelist methods for the ARR helper. The debug would allow you now to render HTML to get an HTML representation of any exception that you got. We got a little bit of a callback methods for the annotations router. We have the first implementation of the work that we've been doing on the data mapper, and that is for the connection. We now have the ability to create a PDO wrapper using the /data mapper namespace, and that one creates a decorated PDO wrapper, as we call it. It allows you to offer to have the connection and to have additional methods on top of that in order to help you, the user. But also we added a query builder. So I mean, these are standalone components. You can use them irrespective of whether you use the ORM or not. They're only Zephyr based. There's no PHQL in the background. You just put straight up queries in there. No other crazy things. We also built the query builder that would allow you, again, on the data mapper namespace, it would allow you to build your own queries. This is similar to the existing query builder that we have in Phalcon, but this one here, the data mapper / query one, actually builds SQL queries. It doesn't build PHQL queries. If you have worked with PHQL, you would notice that it uses models. It doesn't use table names, where this one actually uses table names. Okay. Surprisingly enough, this particular NFR has been in the works. I don't know. It was 2014 that it was requested, something like that. It was some crazy stuff. We did implementations for additional the lazy loader to a little bit help a little bit with the handlers with regards to MVC micro application. We added 2 more interfaces: the config interface and collection interface, so that people can extend those components if they wish to. A few adaptations into the adapter of the normal DB tool that we have. As you can see on screen, the supports default value and get default value have been added in order to properly understand and support the default keyword for different namespaces. We've got quite a few changes, as you can see here. Service checks for the session service, if it's defined or not. We offer now the get row SQL statement to return the full SQL query with the parameters. The filter sanitize will throw an e-notice if a filter does not exist. The PHQL will support the use of any printable characters from the extended ASCII table. and it will use whatever to support them. This is something that I need to do. I need to make it one line. The set JSON content, remove UTF-8 characters when using that to apply with an RFC. Change the visibility of properties in the URI to work with clone. We have proxy methods with prefix, the get related records, group result exists, and so on and so forth. And we also modified the relation to accept callable parameters, and also we can save custom validator messages in the options of the abstract validator when talking about the validation. Also, we made significant changes and fixes for bugs in this version, from version 4 and others to this one. Column definitions, the events, a lot of changes in models, a little bit in crypt. Mostly it was the MVC namespace that we made certain changes. One of the latest ones, and thanks Balas for doing that a couple of days ago, was to fix the prefix version, the prefix issue we had with the session adapter libmem cached and Redis. He was not understanding what the prefix was. It was just a stupid bug. And this morning there was a fix to save the modified properties of previously queried single related records. That was what I merged right before we started this stream. And also we removed a few things. The cookie is no longer bound to the session. The data will not be duplicated in the session. It makes it difficult for using cookies in stateless applications. I don't remember who added this. I remember seeing it and the discussion, but thank you for this work to that member of our community. I apologize, I don't remember the name. It's been a while. So, yeah. Hello, Jamnik. Welcome. So that is what we have to do. Let me just quickly commit this. It's just a tiny change. Okay, so we need to double check the versions not there. I've already done that. After everything is done, commit the final changes, and then let's see. Git push toink. Alright, so this one is going there. Alright, so let me change back to desktop. You'll see the madness over here. So now what we need to do is go back here. Okay, this one was pushed to 4.1. Branches. Alright, this one is the one that's running. To go to up there. Really? Alright, let's go here. Hmm. 5 months ago. Okay. This might be a little bit of a problem. Why doesn't it default branches master? Branches to be all. This was supposed to be doing this. Alright, so this is the latest build of the why would it not pick up 4.1? We did something. Alright, so this is the master branch. Alright, well, just leave that for now. I guess it's gonna start building it once we do the PR to once we send the PR. Okay, so Phalcon CI, why did you fail? Build Phalcon pickle package. File changelog 4.0 in package XML doesn't exist. Okay, alright. So we have something else here. Upfair package XML. See what happens when you remove stuff. Alright, so somewhere here there's a package XML reference. There you go. 4.1. So alright, so this one will trigger a new build. There we go. So this one will probably not fail now. Probably. Leave this one here. Alright, so leave this like this, and we're gonna click here. Most likely this one. Don't care that much about this one. Let's cancel this. Let's go here. It's a brand new build that is running. This thing just started. 23 seconds, 25 seconds. Okay. So we're gonna wait for this thing to run. This Travis. And once it finishes compiling, it's gonna take a few minutes, quite a bit actually. Once it finishes, then we're gonna issue a pull request to the main branch, and with that pull request, we're gonna have to wait until everything builds, and then once we merge to master, then everything would be fine. Now, where we're at, let's go with this. Where we're at is here. And then we're gonna create a draft GitHub release and copy the changelog in it. Check the branch in the release should be master, and then save it, and then wait for up there. Okay. So we're doing okay so far. I just have to wait this one out. Actually, wait for these two. So we have code coverage, this is the CI. Okay, so we have to make some changes here. Once we issue the pull request and this thing starts running, and we can shift a little bit more on because it's going to be a waiting game. We're going to have to be waiting for this whole thing to build. Once that happens, then we can change and talk a little bit about version 5, and we can show you the progress that we have made thus far, which is a good progress. I mean, so far it's been going along nicely, and we can show you the things that we have done and how we translate Zephyr to PHP. It's not a difficult thing to do, but it's a little bit of time consuming, and since we're a little bit perfectionists, we want to make sure that we have as much code coverage as we can. In some cases we cannot hit the 100%. I know for sure that it is a little bit tricky for the cache for the cache controller for the cache controllers and adapters to actually get 100%, because there are some bugs upstream, meaning some of the the methods that we use, let's say for memcached, the get keys, which is give me all the keys that you have, it doesn't work in certain memcached versions, and we have not been able to install the version that it does work on. Okay. To answer Sakura's question, what is the point of code coverage? Code coverage is the idea of code coverage, and I'll explain how it can also be abused. The idea is that all your code should be green, meaning that each line of your code has executed at least one time by a corresponding text, by a corresponding test. So by doing so, you know that at least you have executed all your tests, and your code has run using those tests. That is the idea. It is great to be able to have that. It does not, of course, guarantee that you will not have bugs, but it gives you one more level of assurance that at least the code executed once and it has gone through paths. Now, this does not help you with logic errors. For instance, if you have a bug which has been introduced by you not understanding something, or one of your colleagues not understanding something and creating a branch in your code that is not the correct one, fair enough, that could be found later. But once you do find the bugs that are not related with regards to executing code and writing tests, then you're pretty much 100% confident that your code executes the way you want it to execute up until this point. Now, if a bug is found later, then code coverage offers you the extra benefit of the change that I made in the to fix this bug did not affect any other place in the code, or it did affect something in the code, and my code, my tests figured it out, and not only did I make a change here, but I had to make a change there and there and there and there, because they're all related. It's really easy to to make all these oh great, it's really easy to turn around and say, hey, you know, I don't have cloud coverage, I don't care. That's great. That assumes that you have the perfect memory, which means that the minute you build the system, and the minute not only you but also your colleagues, the minute you build the system, you remember exactly where each piece of the code in this big puzzle exists. So when you make one change here, you know that it will have an effect there, and there. Well, nobody has that kind of memory, right? And if somebody has it, good for them, but they're the exception. For the rest of us, the mortals that live in this world, we use tests, and the more test coverage you have, the more you get away from that, oh well, I changed something here, and then a little bit later I find that it changed something there. So yeah, that's how it should be. It's not always what people do, and you know, we try to get it as high as possible. Alright, so this one failed. It says here, the system cannot find the file specified. I have no idea what this thing is. This is a Windows thing. And it's one of the things that we allow it to fail. Because as far as I remember, we never had a good, clean way of figuring out what the Windows builds will do. Alright, so this is all Windows failures. Okay. Alright, so this one is done. Alright, great. Travis has finished one of them. Okay, that's 8 minutes, so these two should be finishing soon. And what we're gonna do is, once this is done, we're gonna go to issue the pull request. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do the one above. Ensure that app failure has built the DLS correctly. So let's wait a few more minutes for these three to finish. This one should be finishing soon. Yeah, there you go. It's getting there. So Sakura, in case you're wondering, I'll just keep this screen here. Hopefully it's not going to shrink. You see these little dots here on the screen, and you also see these commands here. We have different suites, so we run different tests for different types of tests. So the CLI are the CLI related tests. So we test the console, the CLI DI factory, the tasks, and so on and so forth. The one below it, the one says tests integration. These are mostly database related tests and all that. And you will see a lot of S's here, and these are the skipped tests. We haven't written tests for those. Anything that you see with pure green, that means that there's no skip tests. It actually did the whole run, and you can see there's little dots. Each dot is one test, and then you go down to this one, these ones, which are the unit tests, and these are the fastest tests you can have. And you can see we do have around 175 skipped, mostly in these areas here. And this is one of the things that we're trying to, in version 5, to avoid, to just get rid of the S. So write tests while we're doing it. And in some cases it's extremely easy. It's something that we forgot, or we didn't have the chance to do it. With the PHP now for version 5, it's extremely easy to debug. You don't have to wait for a few minutes for the extension to be rebuilt so that you can run your tests, because that's how we did it. You make a change in Zephyr, you rebuild the extension, and in some cases in the past it would take up to 6-7 minutes. And then once you have all those done, you just run the test again, and then you see something else that you made a mistake, and then you go back, redo. Now with PHP it's much easier, and you can identify errors and bugs. So alright, so this one just needs the Zephyr version. So what I'm gonna do is this one will take a little bit until it finishes, but in the meantime I need to go here and then in 4.1 compare and create a pull request. Oh yay. Alright, so let's go to 4.1. These are the Windows tests, okay. Yeah, let's just wait a little bit. It doesn't take that much. And sure, Sakura, my pleasure. I hope it was a little bit of enlightening. Alright, so we have 7 people watching. So if I do a pull request from here, will it work? Oh yay. Yeah, we'll see. Sakura says in these days GitHub produces a lot of 503 errors. Might be traffic, I don't know. Let's see this one. Is it done? It's still building. Alright, Bala says he was able to make a and you can see my doggies. You can hear my doggies. Alright, so Balas has managed to make a 4.1. Excellent, thank you, buddy. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so this one needs to be released. Okay, and then we need 4.1. Edit. That should be this. So this one goes from 4.1 to master. Alright, so this is the, oh shoot. Oh yay. I have a lot of things to resolve here. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna do this. Which one is the correct one? So trade-us is the last one here, right? There you go, so this side is the correct one. Oops. Alright, so we have deleted. I'm gonna have to do all these. This is the problem right here. The DLLs, the code generation for these guys, the build PHP 7 is not the same from of course from the main branch, which is master, to 4.1, because clearly we made changes, but these files are big, are really big, and doing the diff on them is really a pain. So I'm just pretending that everything is fine, and then I'm gonna regenerate these files just to make sure that everything is perfectly fine. Some of these are not that big, but to give you an idea, for instance, this is the new code and this is the old code, and this tells me here that there's a brand new class called Phalcon HTML helper, abstract helper, and it has these properties in it. So all of these things have to be pushed into these particular files so that we're able to build the code the way it should be. These are remember, these are the optimized files, and unfortunately some of them you just have to wait until they're completely done. And it's relatively easy to do the H files, which are the header files. If you see here, H, the extension, because they're not that big, but the actual files that contain the code, the C files, are really big. So you see here it says Phalcon zip C and Phalcon zip H. H is the header file, and then the other ones are just the alright, so that's a C file. Let's get this one. Ah, shoot. You're not gonna do this to me. Oh my lord. Look at how many files. Ugh. Sometimes I really hate Git. I'm going to regenerate these files, but for now, let's go ahead and do this now that we're halfway in. Postgres. Okay, dialect. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, but there's quite a few files that have been affected by this, and I don't know why. It's usually really good at merging things from and to. I don't know why it changed. Usually what we will do is we will not and this is for, of course, this is not this is not the usual thing that we will be doing from now on, but in the past I had this problem before, and I learned that you should never include in your, when you compile this, you should never include all the ext folder. Leave the ext folder the way it is in master, and then only in the very last time where, for instance right now, where you're actually merging the code and creating a brand new release, only then update the ext folder. So my best guess is that one of us updated the ext folder before now, and that's why all these changes happen. That's why all these files are wrong, if you like. And since these are generated files, if you notice, these are all under the ext folder. It doesn't matter, because you can easily regenerate it, and it will create the brand new files. So so logger item. Unfortunately, something that has to be done. I don't know, that I'm pretty sure that some GitHub guru can, or Git guru rather, could tell me that, hey, you shouldn't have done this, you should have done that. I'm not a Git guru. I don't even pretend to be one. That's the easiest way that I know, and I kind of like the visual things to see them, not necessarily command line. So I can work with this. It seems that we're getting along. Usually the way I see how many I have to do is, usually it gets them to you alphabetically. So you see MVCM, MVC model result set. So MQQR. So I'm just looking at those, and all right, we're close to the M. We don't have that many left. Alright, so that's the validation. Alright, so you see here now from the MVC model, we're now MVC router. So this is the R. And of course we moved on to other things, which is again router annotations, router group. So it keeps on moving. Shouldn't be that long. Alright, view. So the MVC namespace is probably nearly done. Okay, so this is the storage, right? Yes, okay. So we shouldn't have that many left after that. So how are you guys doing other than just watching me doing this merge? Anything planned for the weekend? So this is translate. Validation. More validation. Work. Sakura. Yeah, I know the feeling. Work. I got a lot of things to do in the house. I need to try and fix my power washer. We'll see. We'll see how that would end up. I gotta clean up the garage. Yay. I'm trying to release a new version of Sakura panel. Yay! Way to go, man. If you want Sakura, let us know. And anybody, of course. It's team@phalcon.io. Just let us know what kind of applications you have and what kind of things you would like to see. What kind of things you have rather in your little applications, and we can promote it. We can create a blog post for it. We can make things a little bit easier for you guys. So this one uses the config interface. We can also post your website or whatever you're building to Phalcon.io, buildwith.phalcon.io, just to showcase what you have been doing. So by all means, if you're interested, just give us a shout and we'll definitely promote your work. else is here? What else did we do? Preload. Okay, so we put the preload function. Ta-da! Oh, shoot. What else do we have here? This. Come on, man. We're not done yet. Man, this was the merge conflict from hell. Sakura says, for real, it's cool how the Phalcon has all I need to create the app, but it's just my code. It's I'm trying to make it better. Thanks for the offer. And it's super sorcery. Yeah, of course, you know, we all learn by everybody else. I mean, I was not born with all the knowledge I have. I learned it from other people. I learned it by talking to other people and all that stuff. So if your project is open source, you can also submit it to the awesome Phalcon repository, and then, you know, maybe you will get hold on a second, what is this? Maybe you will get the so we won't delete it. You will get members from the community to actually help and offer suggestions, and in the end, what you call it, your code becomes better and better because more and more people collaborate through it. Okay, so we need, oops, this one is crypt, yes. So we need a created file. Just a suggestion. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it or anything like that, of course. But that's how I would do it. No matter how good or bad I think the code is, I would just submit it to other people to help me out. Alright, so we have a bunch of original files here, which we don't really care about them. These are the merge files. And the ext ones need help. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy these here. Copy. Yeah. I agree, Sakura. It's about the conflict. Look at the bottom name left, and I think no need for selected this. Yeah, you're probably right. So I just didn't think about it at the time. I thought it was faster to do it that way. Alright, so all we need is this. Copy this, go to the terminal, paste. And this one will just delete all the original files, the rig. Alright, so now if I do git status, I'm gonna have the ext and what else? And the build folder, which is excellent. This is what I wanted. So I go back to the other tab that I have here. If you remember, this is the nanobox one. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Zephyr generate extension namespace cannot be loaded. Okay. Let's run this again. Alright, so let's generate it. And this should be build PHP -v. Alright, we're there. And there you go. So now if I go to this side here, these are all changed. And let's see what this will do. Okay, so it's sent it to 4.1. Okay. Alright, there you go. That's the one that I was looking for. And these are the ones that I'm looking for. Okay. This is excellent. Alright, so we have to open different tabs here. So that, let's leave that guy over. So the build and run. Let's open that. Of course, up there we need this. The PR and the push. And let's wait until these all these guys are okay. So this one is setting up PHP. Alright. Oh gosh. I'm getting old, guys. It's all hurting. Look at this. 508,000 lines added, 411 deleted. It's crazy. 1,187 files changed. We did a little bit of work here. 839 commits. Not bad at all. Okay, this one is building, which is great. Hopefully it's gonna go green all the way down. Once this goes green, that means that everything has actually run the way it's supposed to run. So these two, this is the pull request and this is the build. Okay, and then from here we're gonna be able to download the DLLs. Okay, so let's see how this one goes. Man, there's a lot of stuff that we've done. This is one of the things that we're gonna start doing more, and that is to release a lot faster. So we're not gonna have 800 and some commits in one release, unless this is a really major release that we've changed something crazy. So let's wait for this to finish, and then in the look, two are done. In future releases, especially from 5 onwards, because it's gonna be mostly a PHP related one, we're gonna make sure that whatever we release, it's very, very small and quick. And of course, the way we change the framework, and with version 5 that we're gonna work on only on PHP, it's gonna be much easier for people to upgrade, because it's gonna be a simple command for their composer file, and then Phalcon will be upgraded exactly the way you need to. DAU run, a setup.exe will be better for Phalcon. That's a question mark. Maybe, but you have to understand that not everybody uses Windows. So setup.exe doesn't work on Linux or Macintosh. So it might work for Windows very well. So you can just package everything and then let it be installed in your installation, but it's not gonna help anybody else. In addition to this, let's say we did package Phalcon in an executable for Windows users, right? Which would contain the DLL, and it would try and find where your Apache installation is, or where your PHP installation is rather, and try to install the DLL. Let's say we did that. That would mean that we would have to spend not only 3 hours that we're spending here, but more hours to maintain that package too. Instead of doing that, what we're doing is we managed to get our extension in Phalcon, and by doing that, then people can actually download it even on Windows environments. So that is the best that we could do for this. Alright, so this one is getting ready to be done, but I see some red stuff. Probably those are the Windows builds, the ones that we've been looking at. Okay, this one is great. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Most use XAMPP and WAMP and directory of PHP. Sakura says, yeah, a lot of I know a lot of people. Yeah, there you go. The Windows didn't. They failed. I know a lot of our users are using Windows, but not all. So it is also it is also an issue for those users. And Balas says, I use Ubuntu in WSL when I want to test something in local and not have access to my servers. I'm completely the opposite from you guys. I don't use Windows. I haven't used Windows for development in over 7 or 8 years now, maybe more. I just can't. I do use some of the Windows functionality for work, to connect to a particular VPN that we have and all that stuff. But as you can see, this machine is Linux, my desktop, so I don't do any of that stuff. No Windows for me. Alright, so this one is pretty much okay. I don't mind about that. This one is moving. This build hasn't started yet because this build is running. This is the big problem with Travis that we have, that it only has a set amount of builders or workers, if you like, and you have to wait until the workers are free so that this thing can finish. So you see, we got 1, 2, 3 running at the same time. This one, it depends on the ones above, so it's not going to run right now. And then we have one that started here. So that's 4 workers in total, and that's the end of it. We're gonna have to wait for 8 minutes for this. Sakura says, yeah, Windows. Yes, about Windows, but it's very good for games. I understand. I used to play EverQuest a lot. So yeah, it was Windows for me too. Now, of course, after hours and hours of playing, you would get these dreaded C++ errors because you've exhausted your memory and then there was nothing left to do. So it's really interesting stuff. Okay, this one is there. I'm gonna try and do this. I'm gonna prove this. Shoot. Gosh. Rebasing the commits of this branch on top of the base branch cannot be performed automatically due to conflicts encountered while reapplying the individual commits from the head branch. Sometimes I really hate Git. Seriously. Squash and merge. Merge commits. Ugh, gosh. This is gonna be an interesting merge. Anyway. So once we do this pull request, we're gonna have to wait for everything, and then we need to create a draft for the GitHub release. Okay, so let's start that. Let's go here. Here, copy this. Save a draft. And I need to check something real quick. We need to put this. Save drafts. least need another 3 minutes or something. So this guy is done. Artifacts. So what I'm doing now is I'm saving the DLLs that I have compiled already, and this happens when these checks run in AppVeyor. It actually creates the DLL. So you see another artifact is there. Save link has. I actually opened each and every one of those in a new tab so that I can do what I'm doing right now and copy them and save them. So you see this one is still running. So in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another one obviously, and we still have the rest of them to run, and we're gonna attach those to the release that we're doing. This one should start succeeding in a little bit. Whoops. Oh wow, it's still waiting to build. Interesting. Interesting, this one's. So really exciting news, guys. The fact that we're building this last version of Phalcon, and at least I'm excited, not necessarily because we're moving away from C. Yes, we are going to lose some performance. Having everything in an extension is definitely much faster than having it running from PHP, but PHP has progressed so much that I do believe that the performance gain will be negligible. Again, with the new version that we're working on, the version 5, Anton actually is working on a strategy to create benchmarks, and we're going to be running those benchmarks in every single release or very regularly to ensure that whatever changes we make to any components or anything like that are not impacting negatively the actual extension. If anything, we're just gaining performance, if not all. Of course, the use of generators and yielding is always something that would increase throughput, not necessarily performance. It will allow you to do a lot more things a lot faster because it will give you some sort of a parallel way of working. But in general, we just need to make sure that everything is working as expected with this, and the reason I'm excited is because we're gonna be able to engage a lot more with the community, and you know, if somebody sees something wrong, they can very quickly create a little pull request and just talk about it, and then there you go. Alright, so these three are done. Let's see what our DLLs are doing. This one seems to have completed. It's the 6th. This one is still compiling. Okay, and we have this guy. We might have to force push or something to the master branch. Something like that. Oh, this is still getting queued. Oh, wow. These workers must be very busy lately. See, there's none available for 1, 2, and 3. And this one is still waiting. But these ones are done. I guess, you know, you just have to wait. One more artifact here. Yes, it is, Pete. Doran says the PHP 8 is coming next year. Yes, it is, and it's gonna become. There's another thing. It's gonna become a lot easier for us as the Phalcon team to have all sorts of compatibility with the new versions of PHP. One of the things that really killed Phalcon in the past, it pretty much got a lot of people to not be happy with it, or, you know, just abandon it, was the fact that when PHP 7 was introduced, it took a long time until we offered support for PHP 7 for Phalcon, and that was because of you know, various problems with people just not having enough time to work on this. Zend Engine changed, and that meant significant changes in Zephyr that had to be done before we managed to start programming everything and releasing everything with the new version. And it took a few months to just do this. But once we did manage to produce the 7 version, everything went fine, and, you know, people started using it again. But I do believe that we made a mistake at the time, not to follow very closely PHP 7 and being ready right when 7 was released. It took us months to do that, and that was definitely something that you know, you pay for it, right? People just don't want to do that. Now with switching everything to PHP, it's going to be much easier to just say, all right, I installed the PHP beta, I'm looking at my code, everything works fine, or everything doesn't work fine, I can just fix it. And because it's going to be PHP, the community is going to be there to offer suggestions and anything else. So yeah, I'm excited. Alright, so this one, man, talk about these things being delayed. Pretty much everything is delayed today in terms of builds and everything. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more files to go. This one succeeded. Let's get this artifact. All right. This one is the release. I don't want this. Leave that. And I need to go here. I need to see this. Yay. How many people are we? Oh wow, 8 people. Way to go, guys. I dread to do these. Anyhow, we'll have to do it. Once these finish, we're gonna be fine. I'm kind of like interested why Travis is not moving further ahead. It says 9:18, but this one here, the development version Zephyr has not started yet. And on the other one, the one that says pull request, this thing has been running for 17 minutes, and these guys have not started. Yay. Anyway, I mean, I don't mind about these things. I know that it passed on this build. All of these passed, and this is the development version of Zephyr, so I don't mind about that. I'm mostly interested about these guys, the DLLs. And once the DLLs are done, we're good to go. Usually the DLLs are done within 2 minutes 30 seconds, so it's not gonna take that long to finish. So this one is done, this one is starting. Yay. We're 1 hour 44 minutes. Whoa, you guys are troopers. Sticking it here. Sticking around rather. That's the expression. And then once this is done, then I have to do a different thing for the DLLs. Not the DLLs, the deb package and the, what is it? RPM and deb for Debian builds and so on and so forth. But I cannot do that before we create this tag. This here, the release. Before we create that, I cannot do this whole thing because it will not know it. Yeah, Balaz says I think creating a merge commit would work instead of a rebase. Yeah, of course. Hey, Will, I'm just gonna change this to that and then push everything in, which is fine. I'll just have to wait for these guys to finish, just to make sure that we're okay. And then I don't know about these ones. I don't know. Travis has been an idiot right now. I don't know why it just stopped. Look at this, 20 minutes just waiting. Maybe they have an outage in their system, or something like that. Excuse me. Allergies. Sakura is eating sunflower seeds and watching. It's the version of popcorn. And Blasses. Yesterday I had to wait like 2 hours for Travis. Yeah, unfortunately, I have seen that too. I've seen that before. Sometimes it just waits. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be another five minutes or something for these guys to finish the Apveyor ones, the Apveyor builds. Once those finish, then we should be good to go. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I need a bio break. There's too much coffee, and I need to blow my nose because of these allergies. So excuse me for that. I am back. Let's see. Alright, you're nearly done. I see here. Is Travis still sleeping? Yep. Yep, okay. So the plan is, once the Apveyor stuff is done, there's one more, so we need another 3 minutes or something like that. Once these are done, I'm just going to merge the pull request, and then I'm going to create the release, and that would be the new release that we have, the 4.1. And then I'm gonna switch over to packages in order to trigger the DLLs. Sorry, the deb and RPMs. So this is where we're at right now. Wait for all the checks to test and complete successfully. I mean, I'm not gonna wait for Travis forever. That's goes without saying. We created a draft, and then a save draft, blah blah blah. We went to and we got them, and now we need to upload them to the GitHub release page, and then we're gonna have to go to the package cloud repository to create the new release for the DLLs, for the RPMs and the deb files. So once this thing is done, once this this DLL is done, we should be good to go. Where did I put them? Here. And then, of course, once everything is done, we're gonna have to create the blog post and then post everything in the release and all this stuff. Actually, there was a thing that Rude used to do with regards to releases. It was a checklist of sorts. Let me see if I can find it. This one, isn't it? Yes. Alright, so edit. Okay. So I'm just cheating a little bit. So feature request. Alright, let's take all of these out. Come on. Can't do these things. Vertical editing is perfect. Phalcon 1.0 will be released on 10/31/2020. Okay. Oops. This one is 1.0. And if our 4.1.0 checklist. Alright, there you go. Submenu, projects, it's gonna be this one. And working on it. Let's assign myself. It's fine. And this is 4.1. Okay. So we did this, we did this, we did this. This is what we're doing. Tag release in GitHub. We're gonna have to ask Rude to do the Peckle package, and then we're gonna do the package cloud, and then we have blog, social, Gap, Parler, MeWe, Telegram. This one, Rude will have to do it. Post to LinkedIn, update and release stubs, the plugin, Wikipedia, and homebrew package. Okay. So that's what we have to do. And this one has succeeded. Yay! Alright, so all the DLLs are done. Save. Save. There is this. And this one is still sleeping. And this one is still sleeping. Okay, alright, you know what? I'm gonna cancel this build. And I'm gonna cancel this build too. We have something for DevTools. And it failed. Why? Why did this thing fail? Oh, there's a problem with PHP stat. Okay. Alright, so we did this. Now we need to come over here. We have how many? F12. All right. And this one is done. Come on. Alright, so we're gonna create a merge commit. Dun dun! Yay! Excellent. So let's assign this to the project also. And this one has been released actually. Okay, so that one is done. Now the release tag needs to be published. Ah, come on, man. Really? This is a draft. Yes, okay. Publish. Dun 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 dun. Excellent. Alright, so this one is done there. Alright, now we need to go to packages. I gotta find where I have it. Here, Phalcon. Nope. Here. Nope. Shoot. This one. Okay, this one is fine. Oops, I closed the wrong one. I need to go back from this. Okay, so we posted that and now we need to go there. So let's do this. So I merged from, okay. So I need to go out here and then one more. Alright. So now I need to open this as a new project. Actually, I'm gonna open it here. It's not there. So go to Needon, package cloud, okay. Create this window. Okay, so this one I need to do what? First things first, let's go to put an upstream. So that's my branch. Excellent. So now we're in complete sync with that. It says here, check the Travis to ensure branches are properly set. Alright, so we're checking here. Excuse me. So 4.1.0. Excuse me. Gosh. I hate allergies. So it needs to change to 4.1. Let's do these guys too. It's not like that. There's some place that I need to leave the 4.0.6. I don't know why it was done this way, but that's why I'm doing it manually. Sakura says, do a find replace. And Darwin says he's wearing his mask for the sneezing. Yeah, that's good. It's a good thing we're away, right? Alright, let's do find 4.0.6. We don't have anything. We have those 4.0s over there, and we don't care about them. This is fine. Alright, check the environment to ensure Zephyr is correct. Where's the environment? There. Yeah, man, I'm fine. It's just every single time that these allergies get to me, that it's crazy. Right, the parser are correct. Mainline branch is 4.1.0. Nightly branch 4.1.x. Stable branch. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this here the way it is, and nightly branch will be 4.1. Okay, this is correct. This is correct. All right. Alright, so that's pushed. Where's my Phalcon list? So this is released. Okay, let's go to Needham and create pull request. So this, we change that, and that. Create one. Alright, so this is the key here. We created this pull request and what it's gonna do is it's going to go to Travis and it's gonna fire up all these jobs here. And if you notice here, it says trusty dev 4.1.07.2 stable. Actually, let me just open it a little bit, maybe. So you see it has the 4.1. This is exactly what I changed in this file here. and every single one of these jobs is the one that pretty much needs to run before anything happens. Now the problem is I have no idea why this thing takes so long to be built. There's one pull request here. Everything else is fine. The DevTools seems to have something running here. And that's another thing, it just doesn't run. So I'll just cancel this. What's the point of Sakura is asking, what is the point of NTS in the Phalcon one? NTS means non-thread safe, and it is a feature that you need in Windows and also in Linux, which is thread safety. So whenever a process, and this is my understanding, right? I could be completely wrong. Whenever a process runs, it is pretty much safe from crashing or something like that, right? All I know is that I've always preferred the thread safety versus the non-thread safety for myself, right? Whenever I used to use Windows, that is. In Linux, you just leave things as they are. They have a better memory management, a better process management, and all that. Now, whatever application you get, especially using the web and especially PHP, you can choose either the thread safety or the non-thread safety version, and that will depend mostly from your system and as well as your web browser, your web server. If you're running Apache, some versions, let's say WAMP or XAMPP or something like that, some of them might have a thread safe version, at which point you're gonna need the TS version of the DLLs that you download, or some of them might use the non-thread safe, at which point you're gonna need the NTS version. If you're asking me, at least for Windows, it's pretty much a way to make developers very, very unhappy. Because if you think about it, we have a DLL for PHP 7.4, right? We need to make a DLL for the 32-bit version, and then a DLL for the 64-bit version. That's immediately 2. And then you have to make a thread safe and non-thread safe one for each of them. So that makes them 6 or 4, whatever. So yeah, it is a little bit of a pain in the rear to do all these. And unfortunately, I do not see this thing moving. I'm pretty sure Travis is completely borked. It's not doing anything here. What are the warn level or validation level problems that they have here? It doesn't say anything. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting, because if this doesn't finish, we're not gonna be able to publish the RPMs and the debs. Actually, wasn't there a status or something for Travis? So that's something like status, maybe here. Okay. Oh, there's a backlog. Oh, wow. Oh, damn. Okay, that explains it. All right. So for Linux builds, there's 3,500 jobs before us. Oh my gosh. There's a backlog of all of these jobs. So it started a little bit at 9 o'clock. And around what time is this? Before 12. Yeah, they just started picking up. Yeah, look at that. It started picking up nearly 100 per 5 minutes or 200 per 5 minutes. Alright, well, that's gonna be a waiting game. Alright, while we're waiting for this, let me do the blog post. Because that's what we're seeing here, right? So make the PR, Travis, blah blah blah, and then we have this. So we did the tag, and okay. So now we need to do one thing. So GIMP, need to look this. How did we have it? So we just had a V, right? Okay. So what we're gonna do is go there. v4.1.0. Helps if this is 1. And then we're gonna go here and delete that. Shoot. Come on. Okay. Why is this thing not working? Alright. Let me close this. Oh, come on. Alright, goodbye. And then gotta get rid of this. Okay. And go here. V. Alright, so file, export as. Alright, so Phalcon 1.0. Export it. That's fine. File, quit. Discard changes. That's perfectly fine. So we need to go here. Okay. Gonna open this one and then open this one. And then copy this and then paste it in here. Now, close this guy. I'm gonna have to deal with that. So first things first, change the title, 1.0 released. We're gonna choose a file, upload. Where are we? This one. Choose selected. For Phalcon. Actually, I don't want this. I don't want to do that. This admin panel, Sakura says the admin panel is beautiful. This is Netlify CMS. This is the admin panel that you see, and there it is. The blog that we have is a static website. And Netlify, this company over here, is the one that is very generously hosting it for us for free. So what we do is we use markup and we just type things in. You can even do that straight up from GitHub. You can this panel creates a pull request and merges data into your GitHub repository, and then Netlify knows that something has changed, picks up the GitHub repository and builds the whole thing, and you have your website. It's completely static. It just builds everything, and it's just HTML files. So alright, this will be the last version we release for Phalcon as a PHP extension. No, actually. Is that for... So GitHub. Where's the project? Here. The status of our actual stream. Alright, so I'm gonna have to remove this until we do. So take this off. These off. Take all these out. These are fine. So now all we have to do is pick up this. Up. Copy. And then paste it in here. But did we... Oh, okay. I did it correct. Paste this. And then change this one to 1.0. Max Castro, are we going to add some examples in the new JWT implementation and the data mapper? Yes, we need to do that for the documentation. I should be working on that pretty soon. I'll try and get that done before this week. And the data mapper is not fully complete. As I mentioned earlier, there is the new connection, that it's a decorated PDO connection. Very easy, very handy. You can use it anywhere you want, really. It doesn't have to be just the Phalcon. And the query builder works just fine. But the rest of the stuff for the data mapper is not there. And I mean, it would have been there, but we had this little hiccup with Zephyr and all that. As far as the JWT is concerned, if you're very interested, it's fully covered. It's 100% covered. So there's a lot of tests in there that they do this and tell you how to sign, how to not sign. And note the JWT works only with HMAC. It doesn't work with the OpenSSL. So it doesn't work with private and public key. It only works with HMAC. So if that's your that's okay with you, then by all means you can start that. But yes, definitely documentation needs to be updated to offer this these new features rather. All right, let's see what was it. Fixed the Windows build on GitHub CI cancel Traverse for this PR. So where are we gonna put this, man? Oh, it's going to. All right. Well, we already tagged the thing, so. Oh, yay. That was the whole thing that we were missing. Dang it. Things you have to do. Alright, let's merge this. And this one was on Phalcon roadmap. Max, thank you so much for pinging me on this. I would have definitely forgotten it. So, Balas, what we will need to do is rebase master to 4.1. So that will pretty much solve all the issues that we have with everything else. Alright, so let me go back to where I was here. Alright, so set status ready. And then we just publish it now. And that will be it. Upfair build failed, I don't know why, but that's fine. So now all we have to do is just wait a little bit. It takes a little while for Netlify to build the website. It usually takes around a couple of minutes, and so once it clones it, it picks it up, it starts processing all of the websites and starts rebuilding all the posts that you have here, all the markup files that we have. So it's going to process the one that I just sent up, and once that is done, then it actually goes and checks whether the files that he has on the deployment server, on the live server if you like, are the same as the ones that it just built, and if they're not, it just uploads them. So in theory, it's going to be just one file that gets uploaded up there, which will be the new blog post, or two actually, the front screen and then the rest of it. So, there you go. There's the Phalcon 1.0 released. So let's see what we have here. GitHub tag is fine. Yeah, and we definitely, Max, to your point, we definitely need to add a documentation for all of these things that have been that have been changed, and maybe create a small tag in the documentation that this is a version offered in 4.1. With a new version of v5, we're going to be very, very vigilant in terms of documentation. So if we add something, then we have to add the documentation for it, and then otherwise the PR is not going to be is not going to be accepted. And this way, you're not going to end up with the documentation being just like the tests. Oh, it's okay, we'll release now this, and then we'll make the tests later. So yeah, definitely all of these need to be discussed and worked on. Yeah, 4.1 will be ported straight up to 5, right? This is what we've been using so far. So, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. If we create the documentation right now, it's ready for 5 as well. I haven't ported these ones yet. I'm going to show you the current progress, but it's getting there. So these look fine. Okay. Alright, so what we need to do is just 3, 4, 5. And then copy this one. And then go here. Excellent. Thank you, Balas. Balas rebased that. Alright, so blah blah blah. Okay. Copy. So this is where the tweet goes. Here. This one posts like this. This one posts like this. Like that. Okay. Okay, so that one is done. Got Parler, MeWe, Telegram. Come on. Oh yay, this started running. Excellent. We only have some like 5,000 of them. But it's fine. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 15. 15 at 5 minutes each. And then the allowed failures are gonna run. So this thing is gonna take a long time. Lord. Alright, so go there. Hey, Jeremy in the house. Welcome, buddy. So let me open this, and while we're doing this, let me just hit this one. Alright, so this one is v5, this one's Netlify. I told Sakura about it. It's a post, this thing is running. Guy needs to be there. What is monorepo? I'm gonna talk about this in a minute. And this is v5. By the way, Balas, I got a couple of PRs, bud. In the okay. So just a quick note to everybody. Thank you for being here. Congratulations to everybody for the new release. There are some technical things that we have to wait. As I mentioned, the package cloud needs to be built. All these have to pass, and then I'm gonna be able to come over here and just say, okay, now I can merge this. And once I merge this, then package cloud will be notified and we'll start building the DLLs. This is how it works. I don't question it, but the good thing is, from what I see, is that you have 3 concurrent builds running, so 3 workers are running at the same time. So this thing is not gonna be 15 minutes or an hour. It's gonna be an hour divided by 3. Anyhow, a quick update for you guys on Phalcon v5 on what we're doing. So we did mention that we have this repository over here, the Phalcon. And if you actually have been looking at it, you would notice that we are pushing different things, right? We're just putting different parts of the framework in there. So far, these are the things that we have upgraded. So we have the loader, cache collection config, crypt, DI domain, escaper. Escaper is kind of already there. It's not 100%. Events, filter, logger, messages, session, storage, support, translate, and version. And I don't know why git keep is here. I might as well get rid of it. But anyway, so we are trying our best to keep this as clean as possible and as high as possible. And this comes to what Sakura was saying, was asking earlier, with regards to why do you have this code coverage. And you see we're here at 97% in the coverage, according to Scrutinizer, and CodeCove says 90%. So I'll take CodeCove for now. I don't know why Scrutinizer has the more, maybe something that I did. Now for these ones, I need to update this part. The caching is done, the link is also done, and this one is already done, but we haven't brought it in. So we're just working on the way these things are being moved and brought in. If you notice the existing Phalcon application, the Phalcon extension, there's a lot of classes and namespaces, and what we have done is we created this project, is the fifth project, the number 5, and this is v5, and we have every single one of these guys that we are working on, and we're just moving it to the right side, right? Actually, loader is probably done, but I need to put it here. Debug is currently working. Assets, I'm currently working on it. Text we need to discuss because it's probably replaced completely, and ACL, I was working on that too. So in reality, we have 14 things that we haven't really touched, and I know that Tactics is working on a validation as well as with Anton, and then we're gonna work on these. Balas and I have been pulling these issues forward with either pull requests or trying to do certain things. And according to what we have in 4.1, we're bringing it forward. Now, it's not 100% right now with 4.1. There's we need to review all the code that came in, because while I was working on this, there have been changes made to 4.1 with bug fixes and so on and so forth. And we need to make sure that that everything is completely in sync before we do everything. Now the great thing is that we already have tests for most of this, so we're going to be able to catch a lot of things. But again, Sakura, I'm repeating myself. If we had 100% code coverage for Phalcon as an extension, then moving everything to PHP would have alerted us to something not working. Whereas we don't, and some things will fall through the cracks, unfortunately. So some of these things we are currently working on, and you see we have open pull requests. So for instance, this one here, excuse me, this one converts the whole HTML namespace from what it was to what it is, from Zephyr to Phalcon. Some minor changes, but here's the meat of the the Phalcon. The cache factory has been changed. Hold on a sec, these are just add-ons. Where's the HTML stuff? Factory default. All right, so one of the things that we did, especially in this PR, is the escaper actually moved into the HTML namespace, because you're escaping HTML. It doesn't make sense to have it in its own namespace. And these are going to be changes that are going to be documented thoroughly for people migrating from 4.1 or even from 3 to 5. It's going to make a little bit more sense. But this is pretty much what we're doing. And you see here the the end keys and implode, whatever, and everything is done. We're trying our best to keep all the doc blocks as thoroughly as thorough as we can, and we have all these little pieces of code that you can just use and all that stuff. We're trying to reuse as much code as possible from what we already have. We're introducing more traits to make our lives easier, and so on and so forth. So this one is one namespace that you will see, and you see here we're trying to get everything to 100%. Now some of this stuff is at 0, of course, because we time, or we can't just produce everything here. But as you see here, this one actually fade the static code analysis. So if I click on this, this one complains about certain things that we have no control over. So for instance, it says avoid using short method names, just like JS. Well, I want to keep this JS. It's easier for people to put something like escaper pointer JS, and that will escape JS file, JavaScript, instead of using escape JS. There's no point. And oh yeah, of course. And then we have else statements. We're trying to avoid else statements as much as possible to make the code look a little bit better. So yeah, this is still work in progress. The way we're moving everything. This DI config relates to what we did with the dependency injection. Once the config component was ready, then we came back to revisit the DI, because there's a lot of interconnection between the two. You can load things using the DI. You can and you can have the config as the source of what you're going to be loading. So we added more and more stuff, and you did mention, oops, sorry. You did see a little bit here on this HTML at the top in the files changed. You did mention, you did see a little bit here in the cache factory. You see some config references here. It's things that I didn't catch, and we had to re-add this functionality, because in the cache factory you can actually create cache instances using a configuration file, which could be a YML file or a YAML file or an INI or whatever. So all these were actually added later on, and that's why I'm saying we're gonna go through the code again, just to make sure that everything is fine. Probably this week coming, maybe the next week, I'm just gonna go through 4.1 and just make sure that everything that I have here in the PHP implementation is identical to what we have in the other implementation. If we had any changes that affected components that we have not ported yet, then it doesn't make any difference. So this is where we're at right now. We have our pull requests, we have the remaining issues, what we have, what we were doing. I was working on security too. Tag will be completely changed, text will be completely changed as well. So there is quite a bit of work done here, and the list keeps on getting smaller and smaller. So we're very happy this thing is actually moving the way it's supposed to be moving. Yeah, we don't have a lot of quick progress on this, maybe if we were all, you know, if we all had a 1 month of not doing anything else, yeah, we would have killed it. But this is being done, you know, slowly. The key is to make sure that you have full code coverage, or as much as possible. And this is what I was talking about. I just leave those. It doesn't matter. Let me show you very quickly. So if I run all the oh, come on, man, really? If I run all the tests, oh shoot, I forgot. I need to start my containers. Alright, so now the contours. So I run all the tests here, and I started my 2 containers, my memcached and Redis, so that the system knows where to actually go and look at different things. So I have some issues here. What is that? Oh, okay, it runs the debug test. It's fine. I was working on the debug. I was working mostly on the debug component last night, and because the files were left into the folder while I port them over, that's why you see the errors here. I haven't finished it, but what I wanted to show you is this part here. We generate this report. You can generate this report either by using Codeception, or even if you use PHP unit straight up. This is the code coverage part of it, and I'm using pcov to offer all this functionality. But if you look a little bit the report, you see that autoload is covered 100%. The crap score, there's literally no crap score here. Everything is just nice and neat. The collection is 100% config, is 100% crypt, needs some work. DI needs some work. Domain, events filter, logger, messages needs a little bit of work. Storage a little bit, and then support namespace needs some more work, and the translation. But if you look at the support namespace, it's because I have this debug here. If it weren't for the debug, you see 100, 100, 100, 100, and then a little bit 96.58 here. And the reason for this, and I know what it is because I made a couple of changes. I introduced 2-3 more classes. This interpolate does interpolation, so it translates tokens to text. Very useful for the translate component, the login component, and others. The suffix is where you actually put a suffix into a text, so it uses the text plus something else. So yeah, and the prefix as well. I don't remember why I did this, but there was a reason. That there is a method in my madness. But the idea is that now that I've added these, I have to add the tests for them, and then that would increase this STR to become 100%, and then work on the debug will increase that to become 100%, and so on and so forth. And then this one becomes 100%, and then you work on that translate, and you look at it and you say, all right, well, what do I need? Oh, the translate factory needs something. Oh, hold on a sec, there's the load. Well, where is this? It's not there yet. If you notice in the PR for HTML that I had that I showed you a minute ago, there was some work for the config. Well, this was one of the areas that I also touched, and I created this, I introduced this. So once that PR gets merged,
then immediately translate factory hits 100, and then most likely the rest of them. I don't know why the interpolator here doesn't work. Oh, I just need to add another test to make sure that it covers this line, because this is one path, one conditional, and this is for you, Sakura, as well. This is why it's good to have full coverage. So in this method, the replace placeholders method, it checks holders is empty, and if it is, it would do the unshift, and then it will call the sprintf on those. If not, it will just return the translation. All right, well, so far I've tested this with an array that does have placeholder. If you note, the true is not empty of the array. All I have to do is I create a test that your placeholders is empty, and then will it return the correct will it return the dollar translation string? If yes, then you're fully covered here, and you've chosen both paths. You tested both paths of this method. That's the purpose of the full code coverage. And of course, these ones become 100%, and then everything becomes 100%. Oh, we'll get something here in the get text. Yeah, these and query and set directory are just a little bit of a pain in the butt. I have to figure them out later. So yeah, then you keep on going, and you're trying to make these classes to hit the 100% as much as possible, right? Because the minute you have 100%, you know that your code has executed at least once, right? So this is my little guide, and whenever I try to do certain things, I just make sure that they're there. So let me just do something real quick here. Where's the debug 12? And Balas says, I've been mainly working on 4.1 the past weeks. Now I can focus on 5, which is great news. And kudos to Balas. He's been pulling the wagon, if as we say, on 4.1. He pretty much released the whole thing himself, because I was mostly covering this. So yeah, thank you so much, buddy. That was really good work. So let's see. What we're gonna do here is git add src support debug. Refactor debug, and then convert Sphere code to PHP. In case you guys are wondering what this thing is that I'm doing here, the CZ minus C, I'm going to show you in just a sec. So I have these two things that I just added, and it's the interpolate and interpolate trait. So let's see, I'm going to add those here. And now there is a little package that was installed. I think it's a Python package. I don't remember exactly where I got it from. And it allows you to have the CZ command, right? And if you run the CZ command, it's called committizen, this one here. And then what you could do is you could pretty much tag your commits according to conventionalcommits.org. So what we're doing is we're pretty much generating commits according to we're formatting commits according to a particular structure, and I'll show you what the structure is. and we're going to use those commits to create a changelog if we need to. So let me quickly do a commit, and then we're going to try and generate the changelog, which I've never done it before, but you know, that's perfectly fine. So what you do is you do the C commit, so CZC, and then it gives you this little menu here, and you're saying, okay, what is that? Well, this is a new feature, right? Because I'm just adding this interpolation, or you could say that it's a refactor. I'm refactoring the debug, and I'm adding a couple of things in a different class. So okay, I'm just gonna put it refactor, and where was it? If you note here, these two files were in support, right? So I'm gonna use support, and I can use support-str or just support. So I'm just gonna type support, and then I'm gonna write a small message. Did interpolate class and relevant trait. And now it asks you different questions, and those are if you want to put an additional code changes, you could put more and more information there. And then the next one, is this a breaking change? No, it's not. And then the footer, information about breaking change, references issues, that this commit closes, and so on and so forth. So I could put hash, what is it, 12, but it's fine. It's going to do it on its own. So it just updated this, right? If I do the log, you're going to see that it did refactor, which is what I wrote, and then support, add, interpolate class and relevant trait. This refs 12, I have a commit message hook that does this automatically. Otherwise, I could have written refs hash 12. And this hash 12 is something that GitHub understands, and it links this commit to issue number 12, right? So let's try this. Let's try this for the first time. I mean, I've never done this before, but you can actually do the changelog ch, right? There you go. And there's a changelog there, right? So this is the interesting part. Through the commits, it actually went and picked everything up. All right, so performance, introduced faster if statement. There's some random stuff that I didn't add anything there, but you see that the area, so for storage, this is what I've done. Unfortunately, I didn't do this. For events, this is what I've done. For DI, for escaper, DI, support benchmarks, and all that stuff. These are all features, right? For fixes, and then for refactor. And if you put this into, this is what the changelog shows. And we can work a little bit more on this, just making it a little bit prettier, in a sense that, you know, you just reference different messages. I mean, this refs 27, I added manually with a hook, but I need to make sure that Commitizen picks it up as well, which I haven't done yet. So this was the little thing that I wanted to show. Yes, automatically referencing issues can only be done with tasks and context in PHP Storm. There's a wealth of tools here in PHP Storm. I don't remember here, tasks and contexts. You can use this feature here, and you can do that. And then down here, in the bottom area here, you're gonna see your different branches, and you can switch, and you can stash things. You can do a lot of things. I'm more of a terminal person, so it's fine. So now if I do run these tests at some point, oh come on, hold on, I gotta clean up this folder because one test failed, it just remembers it. So if I just run the tests again, here you're gonna see this here there on the right side. This right side is gonna change because of course I don't have the debug stuff and I don't have other stuff. So if I refresh it, you see now support it's at 97% because it doesn't have the extra. It just has prefix and suffix. And the escaper is something that we need to work on because the escaper is using C. So we have to translate the C code to PHP code. It's not very easy to do that because it uses big endians and little endians and all that stuff, and pack and unpack and all that. I don't know what we're gonna do for now. I just left it, and that's why I have an issue created there. To answer what Sakura is saying, Git nevermind, I don't know what that is. I've never seen this before. This is one of my aliases, and it comes from not there. It's where's the git config? There it is. Okay, so I have a lot of aliases so that I don't type too much. So if you see here the easiest ones, S status, git S, git br, give me all the branches, git co is the checkout, git com, commit, and then L is a different log. It's a pretty. So you see that git L gives you this, and then I can do let's say git graph. So it gives you a little bit of a graph of where things go. Alright, so Sakura says, I didn't know that alias can be done in Git. Signing key is the token to access to GitHub. No, I'll show it to you, and you don't have to hide it, and I'll explain why. Another alias, LG. It's a little bit bigger log, different log, and it does show you where you branched off. You see the difference in here, but git nevermind is this one here, git reset hard and all that. Git reset minus hard head, and then git clean minus d minus f. So that's what I use to, if I don't want anything, I just get rid of it, and you can do this. You can see who contributed to the repository, how many commits. It's really cool. Just, in order to say thank you, of course. Now, the signing key that you mentioned, this one here, right? I don't need to sign. I need to hide it because it relates to a GPG key that I have on my computer, right? So let me show you. Where's the GPG stuff? There you go. GNUPG, right? These things, the pub key and all that, I have a specific key in there. I exported the key in a format that I needed to. I took that format and I put it in GitHub, the key in general. And GitHub now knows my GPG key. Then I use this here, this signing key, and every commit that I do, it signs the commit with this key. And then when it goes to GitHub, GitHub looks it up and says, oh, okay, well, you signed it properly, way to go. And then you have this part here. Where is it? Oops, sorry. Let's go to a pull request. Probably show it there too. It's easier. And then once you do that, you're gonna have this here. You see this verified sign? This is what that thing does. So I told GitHub, hey, my name is Nikos, and this is my GPG key. All right, and GitHub said, okay, that's fine. All right. Then I send a commit, and then GitHub will respond, sorry, you have not signed this. So I don't know if it's you, right? And then you say, okay. So you put your signing key, that hash that you saw, that big long thing of characters, in your git commit, in your git config. And then when you commit something into your local repository, it is signed. Then when you push it to GitHub, GitHub validates those commits and says, yeah, these are signed. This is Nikos, really. And then it puts this little verified little tag over here. And you know, it's just kind of like a little display thing, but it also helps the community to see, or whoever, to see that, hey, you know, this is who he says he is, and he's the one that made this commit. So all right, let's go beat him because he broke our code, or let's go buy him a beer because he did something nice. So you have all these things that you need to do, and then once you see it, there you go. You can see my GPG key here. All right, it's a verified signature. It's another thing that you do just to make sure that people that use this code know that it's you that did it. Okay. All right, so let's have a look. Oh, yay. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on, man. Really? Why did you break? This is not what I wanted to see. Come on. Ah, okay. What the hell is that? Okay. Fake root Debian rules binary gave exit error this. I have no idea. Okay, well. Dang it. So 7.2, 4.1. Why is that over there on Bionic? But 7.3 Bionic passed. Could it be that Bionic no longer has 7.2? And then we have Jesse. Jesse. How old is Jesse? I wonder. And these are the Red Hat. All right, I gotta talk to Sergey about these three. Maybe we'll need to just remove them because I don't know how old Jesse. I don't know if anybody still runs Jesse or something. Maybe there are. Out of curiosity, what's the support for Jesse? Alright, Jesse's gone. Jesse's done. Yeah, Bionic is the latest one, but I'm wondering if Bionic supports 7.2, because 7.2 is end of life too. Now, kinda, I think. So I'm wondering if we should even bother with Wheezy or Jesse. Where is it? What did I do? Oh, there it is. So yeah, should we bother with 1, 2, 3? Because they're all out of they're not even worried, and then just figure this one out. I don't know. I'll ping Sergey, see if he has any idea about this thing. I mean, otherwise I don't know. I really don't know how to do this. It was really nice when when Sergey was around, because he would know these things by heart, and he would figure these things out. And the latest releases that I've done for this were they just went flawless. Just pretty much, you know, I clicked the button and I pushed the thing and it was done. But we'll see. We'll just have to figure out what is going on. And yeah, I'm really interested about that. And also, I'm pretty sure 7.2 is done in December, in November. So 7.2 is done in 29 days. The support finishes in 29 days. It's already the development finished 2 years ago, right? So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay. I guess I'll have to wait for my buddy Sergey to fix that. And yeah, this is the progress, guys. I mean, I hope I didn't bore all of you to death. I just wanted to make sure that we have something done. The release is out. At least that's a good thing. The debs and the RPM should be done as soon as I get a hold of Sergey, and we can figure some things out. And that is it. And I know we've been on this for hours. Let me see. 3 hours 14 minutes, and we still have 9 people watching. Way to go, guys! I gotta buy you all popcorn. So yeah, seriously, if you guys have any questions, by all means shoot in the chat. And if none, then we're just gonna call it a day. And thank you so much all for being here and for sticking with it. So this one is still waiting. There you go. This one failed also. So I'm wondering if it's something I did or I didn't do, because it seems that it installs Phalcon and then it does some sort of compilation. Okay, the ZTS, and then okay, so Phalcon is there, and it keeps on going, and then the problem happens At least for RPMs, it happens here. Bad exit status from this. Here. Oh, there you go. That's the problem. I think I found something. Let's see. So here, let's find the word changelog. Alright, so PHP 4 spec, it's okay. This is 4.1. This one needs to change to 4.1. This one needs to change to 4.1. That's why Remy failed, because of this. Well, the RPMs anyway. So that one is fine. Text, and then we have changelog, and then I don't know why we even bother with 5 point something. Okay, so that one failed on that. Why did this one fail? On Jesse. Alright, so this one says curl not found. Really? Alright. So let that one go. This one, I know it kind of like pooped, so let's cancel this build. Oh no, an error happened. Why can't you cancel the build? Come on, man, really? Oh, yay. I cannot cancel the build. Alright, that means that I'm gonna have to wait until all those are done until this one starts. Unreal. This is what Balas did earlier. Oh my gosh. Let's try and cancel these jobs. Because otherwise these things are gonna start running and I don't want them to run. There we go. Okay. So all these are cancelled. At that moment you can take a lot of the project I work in and tell me how bad it is. I don't know if I have a lot of time, but I can definitely give you some hints and tips if you want to. More than happy to. Alright, you can send me a message in Discord or something like that. or an email, and I can tell you. I can give you directions. I'm not gonna tell you how to code. How to code is your own way of doing, and this is for Sakura in the chat. And of course, my opinion is my opinion. It's not. It's not gospel. This is how I do things. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's correct. The way I do things, it goes from years of working in the industry and pretty much figuring out what works, what doesn't work, at least for me. And this is why I go down this route. Other people just don't like it. Other people just change. You know, it's entirely up to you to do whatever you need. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have to wait for this guy and then see how it works. Okay, at least this one is completely done, right? Where are the workers though? Where did they go? Because this one hasn't received any workers at all yet. All right. Well, I guess guys, it's gonna be a wrap here. We're gonna figure out what is going on with these builds, and then we're just gonna let things roll. And once we get a little bit of a calm from this release, and people just not finding any issues or whatever, we're gonna keep on pushing and continuing for the version 5 as normal, and then just keep on pushing for the release on that. I would like to have version 5, at least an alpha, out before Christmas, or at least as a Christmas present for the community, so that people can start playing around. But there is a lot of work that needs to be done before that. The easiest that I can give you is the dev tools have to change so that people can start creating new projects very easily. And we have great views and great plans for dev tools. Anton and I have been talking a little bit about them, that there was this, as well as the rest of the team, we were talking about having some sort of templates that you can inject to the dev tools, and then the dev tools can actually build a sample project based on your template. And that would be great if you want to create a skeleton for, let's say, an API project, or a skeleton for a full project or a mid project, or all that stuff. And I know that our friend Max has been working diligently on his project Canvas, and we're waiting for that as well. There's a lot of work that they put in, but it's definitely going to help the community. And this is just me mentioning it, but the more we get to the point where he can release it, we're going to have various announcements and promote that project, because I truly believe that it's going to help the community. And with that, if you guys are okay, we can shut the stream off. We're really in the 3.5 hours nearly. And I haven't stopped talking, so that's a good thing my wife is not here. Alright, so I'm gonna wait a little bit for any questions or any comments that you guys might have, and if that is done, then we're just gonna say goodbye for today. Oh, there you go, this thing started. Yay! Thank you, Sakura. Good day to you, buddy. right, I guess we're gonna say good afternoon to everybody and thank you so much. And that will be the end of our stream. All right, take care everybody and thank you again.